Hi, I'm Benjamin Loh, author of Master Math Models, found in all major bookshops, and lead tutor at Trinity Learning Center. Today we'll be doing the P5 assumption method, a question about marbles. Okay, so let's begin with the keywords. The keywords are: Mrs. Teo wants to give some marbles to a group of children. Okay, if each child gets 5 marbles, there would be 4 marbles left. And if each child gets 7 marbles, there will be 8 more marbles that are needed. The question is, how many marbles does Mr. Teo have? All right, so in a question like this, there are actually many different ways to do it. Okay, we could do it using a model method, and we could do it using the assumption method. These are two different methods. And to do it using the assumption method, there is a slight drawback in that when you use the assumption method, you don't actually get to see the logic behind the working. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use that method because I want to give a quick solution, and that's the strength of the assumption method, is that it provides a quick solution. Okay, and if you want to watch the modeling method, you can watch my other videos available in my channel. Do remember to subscribe and ping that notification bell so that you will always be notified of new videos coming up that you can use to help your children. Okay, so the theory behind the assumption method, the system behind it, is that first of all, you will need to find the difference between the values that each child gets. So we know that each child gets 5 here and each child gets 7 here. So the first step actually is to take each minus each. Okay, the value of both those each, taking the bigger each, subtracting away the smaller each. So in this case, we will be taking 7 minus 5 to get 2. Then what you want to do next is you want to add up what is left with what is needed. Okay, now at this point, I would like to add that different words are used in by different teachers, and sometimes they will call this the excess shortage question. So in this case, left would be excess, and 8 more is needed. So therefore, you don't have enough, and therefore, if you need 8 more, we will have a shortage. Okay, so sometimes you will see these words being used. Okay, anyway, so what you would do next in this assumption method, where there is an excess and a shortage, is that you will do excess plus shortage. So in this case, excess plus shortage means that you will take 8 plus 4, or 4 plus 8, makes no difference. Okay, so let's say I take 8 plus 4, that makes 12. So what we do next is we take the 2 answers that we got and we divide them by each other. So now I take 12, I divide this by 2. Okay, so basically we take the first answer and we divide, or rather we take the second answer in this case, and we divide it by the first answer. So in this case, I get 12 divided by 2. So this is my second answer, this is my first answer. I take 12 divided by 2, and that gives me 6. So what I've done is right now I found the number of children. So 6 is the number of children, and you want to know in this question how many marbles, right? So if you want to know how many marbles, then what you do now is you take 6 and you times the number of marbles that each child will get, so that's 5. So 6 times 5, and after you get 6 times 5, you will get 30. Now, if Mr. Teo gives each child 5, and as a result, because there are 6 children, I now have to give 30. Mr. Teo has to give 30. There will be 4 marbles left. In other words, there are more than 30 marbles. So the next thing to do is to take 30 plus 4, and that gives 34 marbles. So this is actually the answer to the question. But you may want to check your working. So how do you check your working? Very simple. Now, since we know that there are 6 children, and each child in the second scenario gets 7 marbles, I should now take 6 times 7 to get 42 marbles. Okay, these are all marbles, by the way. And then, what happens when he gives each child 7? Well, the answer is this. If he gives each child 7, he will need 8 more. Does this mean that he has enough or not enough? The answer is he doesn't have enough, right? In fact, he is 8 short. So we must now take 42 minus the 8, because 42 is what he needs to give, and he doesn't have that. He is 8 short. So minus 8, and that gives me 34. Okay, again, these two words here are both marbles. And you should be able to see now that these two numbers are the same. So this is a confirmation that your working is correct. All right. So in this question, the answer is that there are 34 marbles. So that's the answer to the question. If you found this video useful, remember to subscribe, and you can also join my Telegram group with the link found in the description below, where you will be able to get a clean copy of this worksheet for your child to practice as he's watching this video. All right, I'll see you again. Bye-bye.